1,000 borders just so I can be with you. My loving you's a mission, but I'm ready. 1,000 borders just so I can be with you. This love I got is nothing to be played with, baby. I'm across 1,000 borders, baby. Ooh, baby. 1,000 borders. Ooh.
Hey yo, welcome to our YouTube channels, Angie&Olie. We're excited to have you be on our channel. We are grateful for you being here and watching this video. Every week we're getting new subscribers, which is a blessing for us. So there were times where we didn't get new subscribers every week, so we are really grateful that there is growth in that. So if it's your first time on our channel, so we really just want to emphasize and make love great again. So focusing on the family, focusing on relationships, focusing on healthy relationships, healthy marriages, healthy families, which in turn do impact society as a whole. So today we're excited to be able to do something brand new. There's a new playlist coming out, which is Boyz Corner, which is just basically me talking to other gents about relationships, about marriage, about family, and those type of things. So it's not all going to be married guys. It's going to be single guys, engaged guys, older married guys. We're going to try to find some divorced guys. We're going to find whoever we can, but to kind of get a perspective from the male side when it comes to relationships, marriage, and family. And Angie's going to have the same thing with the girls' corner. So we're excited about bringing these two things, which will be coming out, and the videos will be sporadic, but they'll be in that playlist. So today we're especially excited to have someone on the channel, which is a big brother of mine. So his name is Aleksis, and he's here, so he's going to introduce himself. So welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Oli. It's great to be with you, the big boss, as I call him. So no, it's really a great initiative. First of all, I think really that the health of the couple determines the health of a family, and as you know, it's a ripple effect to society. So great, really supporting what you're doing, praying for you guys, and yeah. So my name is Aleksis. I'm 44 years old. Been married for 22 years, almost 23, to a wonderful woman coming from the Congo. So we're an interracial marriage, and we have 3 boys. So Marcus, Noah, and Jude, 20, 18, and 13 years old. And we live in France. So that's basically the story.
Yeah. So I'm sure you guys are probably thinking he's no way he's 44, but he is 44. So I guess when you're married and you're in a happy relationship, it keeps you young. So that's one of the perks. So I guess right off the bat, so one of the big things that probably is going to stand out to everyone after that intro is the fact that you're 44 years old, but you've been married for 22. So you got married like really young, right? Relative to what most people would think is like mature age to be married. So first question would be, what do you think there's an age where you can be married? Or do you think it's kind of like not really an age thing?
Yeah. Well, so I got married, I was 21, my first year as a student at the university. So I was really young.
But you got married in first year of university?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, first year at university. So actually, I don't think it's a question of a particular age. I really think it's more a question of maturity. So you can be very immature at 30, and you can have, according to the way you've grown up and the responsibilities maybe that you have and your spiritual growth, and be mature at 22. So it definitely wasn't my case. I was not mature at all. So that set us up for some difficulties that we actually bumped in.
Yeah.
But by God's grace, you learn. You go through the process, you learn. But I think there are definitely some things that are helpful to do before you get into marriage as a maturity issue, and things that you can settle, expectations that you can talk about, that can help you. So it's not a question of age, it's more a question of maturity.
Okay. So I guess follow-up question, which is logical, would be, what do you think was like one of the main things, or the main thing that was like a struggle for you getting married as young as you did?
Well, we were so happy, just to get married. We just wanted to have it as quick as possible. And so sometimes you don't get to really, when you're in that phase of just wanting to hit the line of marriage and enjoy life, and you don't necessarily think about deep issues to help you prepare the way forward. So one of the major challenges for us, and I think a lot of people struggle with the same thing, was the question of how do you handle finances?
Okay.
Especially when you start off young. So I was a student full-time, part-time working. My wife was working, studying also. So of course, in the very early years, finances are tight. So the way every one of us has received a financial education, Some are more savvy with money than others.
Yeah.
So, but just even aligning yourself and saying, okay, how we've been managing our money separately. So how do we function, and what kind of financial background do we come from, and how do we set up things in a way that we can function together, and though the tension is not there. This, as you know, the number one tension for married couples is financial question. So I think one of the things is really the financial question, talking about how will we handle this stuff, who's responsible for what, just talking about our financial backgrounds and what is our common goal. That is one issue. And then I think also dealing with not necessarily childhood traumas, but dealing with your own emotional barriers first. So a lot of people are headed into with the idea, I want to find the right person. I want to find the right person. So as if finding the right person would be the solution to your well-being. And that is the greatest way of just ruining it. So rather than saying I want to find the right person, which of course is important, but it's rather of becoming the right person. So if you want to get married, you focus on becoming the right person, and then you'll be a blessing to someone. And I think some of the things of the emotional difficulties each and every one of us has gone through as a child, and maybe past relationships that have been difficult, doing the hard work of working on yourself first, so that you don't bring issues into your marriage.
Now, I guess you kind of already going in the direction of the second question, which was, you did mention that you got married young, and you did mention that it's not like you got married young and you were like mature. So it's not like you had that stuff lined up, right? And you've also alluded to the fact now that you become the right person. But I think that a lot of relationships, whether it be like dating stage, engagement stage, or even marriage stage, they fall apart because people are not patient in the becoming process, right? So how did you get married young, get married immature, get married broke? Because like those are like the things that people are like, what, do you want to be financially stable, all these type of things, right? So you basically got like a list of all the don'ts. How have you had that as a starting point, but you've still got like a good marriage 22 years later? And a solid family.
First of all, I would say marriage is just wonderful. So even if you're carrying through tough times, and we did have serious tough times, if you're willing to do the work, then you really get a lot out of it. And so I think the most important thing, there's two things that stand out for me. First is really the idea of commitment. So being committed to the marriage as the institution, and then of course being committed to your partner. There's times in life where you could just think, well, walking out would be the easy thing. Or you have someone smiling at you and you're in a difficult situation, and then you just think, oh, I deserve some good treatment. And it could be very easy just to slide out and go have it. But so it's being committed to the marriage as the institution, being committed to your partner. So that's actually a wonderful quote from Dietrich Bonhoeffer. I don't know if you know him. It's a pastor from Germany during the Nazi time, and he was counseling a young couple, and they were asking, what is the best advice, and how can, and so they were really in love, and they say, and he said to them, well, today actually you think that your love will sustain your marriage, but it's actually your marriage that will sustain your love.
That's crazy.
And that is a profound statement, and I think I found to be true, that actually the emotion, or what we associate with love, is coming and going, depending on sometimes the quality that you have, the quality time you have, the time that you go through. So sometimes you're up there and sometimes you're down there. And if that becomes your way of, if that is the determinant factor, if you go all the way to the end, well, you'll be going up and down. So being committed to the marriage and to your partner through the tough times, and doing the work will actually really settle the ground, and you're sowing all the time. And so what you sow in the difficult times will actually strengthen your marriage. So definitely do the work. Don't run into the another direction, which is the easy way out. Every relationship takes work, and the more you are investing into your relationship, the more you'll get out of it.
No, that's profound. That Bonhoeffer quote is crazy. So I think we're kind of in sync psychologically, because like the Bonhoeffer quote is good, but I'm also thinking that if you look at couples and relationships and people that are together, and obviously you've alluded to the fact that it's the hard work. But this is what I call the Hollywoodification of love
Yes.
and relationships and marriage. And
Yes.
you watch movies and you watch series and people are like madly in love and you want to feel those feelings because that's what kind of sells.
Yes.
The flowers and the fancy cars and fancy trips, and I guess Hollywood sells the butterflies.
Yeah.
Right. But on the other end of the spectrum, you've got like people who are like marriage is hard and marriage is tough. So that becomes a hard sell because if it's so difficult, like why are we getting into it? So like, especially now in our generation, people are not really as keen to be married because of a lot of things that have happened in their own parents' lives, and some are orphans, some are single parent, raised kids and stuff like that. So what would you say, or how would you make a case for marriage if you were to sell marriage to someone?
Wow. Well, there's no other relationship like it.
Okay.
Actually, it is the place when you put in the work and then you go through the transformation process, because it's really a transformational journey. Even if you're mature and you go into marriage with all the right things, you're still evolving and you're still becoming someone else, and not in the sense of a different person, but you're really being transformed to the journey. And it is the relationship in which you really can connect with someone on a level where you can be all yourself and not be ashamed, not be afraid. And that is the place of security, really, number one. I think so. There's no other place where you can be resourced, encouraged to the degree that it's actually in your marriage. We all long to be seen and to see. And that is the place where this really happens. So to be seen and still to be loved with your flaws, with all, it's really that love and that place that gives you strength that no other relationship can provide. So I would be making a case for marriage anytime. But it is work, that is true. There are some hard times, but the benefits of it is just unbelievable. When I think about even the way I related to my wife when we got married, the love I had for her, and the way that we relate to one another now, it is just years apart. And so, I really would encourage you. This is the best. This is the good stuff, man.
When it's done right.
This is the good stuff.
And I guess speaking to the ladies more than the gents right now, just like a little segment for the ladies. Back to the Hollywoodification of love and all these things. I think for the most part, like this younger generation of people that are getting married right now, there's a lot of pressure. I've been spoken to by a lot of young guys who are like, look, I can't get married because I don't have a house, I don't have a car, I don't have the money for the trips, I don't have the money for the iPhones and all these different things. And these are kind of become, crazy as it is to say it, they've become kind of requirements. So you obviously are a perfect example of someone who got married broke. I too got married broke, as I've said on the channel many times. So if you were to like encourage younger ladies, right, of what to look out for, and how do we go against the stream right now of this desire to be with someone that's wealthy, like how do we help them see past the lack of resources and see a good man?
I think actually it's a great advantage to get married when you're starting off in life, because you're building together. And that is really different. I was discussing this with some guy, and he told me, well, actually, if you have everything and your wife is just coming in, when things are not going right, you say, well, I had everything before you come, now go. I still have. Well, if you
bad luck.
If you build everything with your wife and you go through different stages, actually you're growing together and you're building together. So the relationship is really something that is strengthened by going through the different phases of, because man, I still had pimples when I got married. It's almost, And so you see the evolution, and then it is just something different as you grow together. And as the everything you've built together. So that is really an aspect, I think that's an advantage. Of course, it's very important not to look for financial stability. I think it's really for the question of maturity in terms of, is the person responsible?
Okay.
Is it someone who handles what he has now responsibly? Okay. Does he know how to set limits? Is he able to live within the means that he has? Does he keep his word? Someone who's really, even if he makes a mistake, is he willing to to
Own up
assume,
to it, yeah.
to own up to the mistake. So these are characteristics. I think really being responsible is a key indicator. And you don't have to have money to be responsible. It's just in the daily task. Look for, how is he handling his studies, the relationships around him already. So I think these things are very important to look for, especially responsibility.
All right, and then obviously on the flip side, the gents. Once again, Instagram and TikTok and all these different things. A lot of the guys that are in that age, I wouldn't want to call them immature, but it's kind of like for lack of a better word, it's like a spirit of the times.
Yes.
They're looking for like a 10 out of 10. They're looking for a supermodel. They're looking for someone who's beautiful and stuff. The Bible says that beauty is fleeting, right? How can you, is there a way for like a young man right now who's trying to get married? I think fundamentally, you need to be attracted to the person you want to get married to.
I think so.
But how do you not make it like a physical thing?
Yeah. Well, that is a part of experience. So for me, my wife is the most beautiful woman on the earth. But there were times where I looked at her and I did not see that beauty. Because everything I saw was the character issue or the fight we're going through. So even if you get married to what you think at one time will be the most beautiful woman, once you get up and you have some tension, all that beauty, you will not see it.
And also he's got a Congolese lady, so sometimes they go to bed in African.
No, but it's not
the brains out.
But it's not even that. It's not even that. It's the question of really
I'm just trolling.
Actually, that's what I see. The more you into marriage, the more it's the beauty of the person, the character that is really sexy.
That's true. Yeah.
That becomes more and more sexy. It's really the character of the person. Of course, I think you have to be attracted, or I don't know if it's possible. I haven't had that experience, but there's the attraction in the beginning, and which is normal. But then it becomes more of seeing the beauty of the person. And so looking for the beauty of the person is much more important than the beauty of just the outside person. That is something I've experienced firsthand. Even if you're with the most beautiful women in your eyes, beauty is fleeting even in your own eyes. But what really makes a woman beautiful is the way that she's progressing, is the way that she's flourishing, the character inside. That is really something that is, I think, to me nowadays, the most important thing.
That's profound. So obviously in your different things that you do, you got a lot of people that talk to you and you talk to a lot of people. What would you rate are the top three? You've obviously already mentioned finances. What are the top three causes for like divorce or people not getting a relationship where it needs to be? Because sometimes with Angela and I, right? So we talk to couples and it blows our mind because sometimes we're with them throughout the entire process.
Yes.
From when they're dating and then when they get engaged and even like the things they have to go through to get married, they're willing to go through all those different things, deal with family, find the finances. And then at some point, like I'm always thinking to myself, like, how did you go through all this? And you're now at a place where you can't stand this person. Like, I don't get that. So I guess, what are the two things that, because you already gave us finances as one of the major things, what are the two things that from your interactions with other couples, younger couples, older couples, that are the biggest causes of separation?
There's actually a study. So I did some of my studies at DTS, and there was a course that I had to do on marriage preparation. And it was based, and they gave us some tools. It's a tool called Preparing the Rich. And so it's really based around data-driven analysis of what are couples that are really functioning well. So the number one was what I said was the qualities of having a sense of commitment. So that was one. Then of course the difficulty is finances. The other one was having a balance between the I and the we.
Okay.
And I find that this is one of the major difficulties in couples, actually. They think because we have become one as a couple, that the individual side is no longer important.
Yeah, okay.
And others are so much into the self that they neglect the we.
Okay.
So being balanced, the right balance between the we and the I is really important, which means that if you think of the couple as a person that you would treat, so you say the we, how are you feeding the we? What are you doing so that your relationship is cultivated? But then also, how are you personally flourishing in the marriage? Is your partner encouraging your personal flourishing? And that can be around certain passions, You know, sometimes people want to be so fusional in their way that they say the other partner should not do anything, should not enjoy themselves for themselves,
I'm
or
not
just
there,
hang out with friends, or no,
Yeah.
if I'm not there, you know. So, and that is really not the right way to function. So, being able to have our couple as we, but then also investing into the flourishing of one another, encouraging passion, encouraging, you know, pursuits or friendships outside. So that is really an important balance.
Yeah.
And then I think the third thing for us, and that is really out of experience, was learn the love languages early. You know, as the famous book from Gary Chapman talking about the 5 love language. Just that is something that is has been a game changer for us. So you express your love in a way that is natural to you because this is the way that you've been loved, and your partner might not understand that language at all, and you might, in your eyes, do everything you can to show your love, but your partner is not understanding you because it's not the love language that you're speaking. And so understanding so being really committed to the marriage and to the partner, working on what does it mean to be balanced between the I and the we, and then being able to learn the love language and speak it intentionally. That is really
nice. That's some good stuff. So I've always thought about, obviously I've never got to the place, thankfully, thank God, because I got married just slightly older than you, right? But I also got married quite young. But I've never got to the place where I thought to myself, look, I need to leave my wife, right? But in conversation with Angela, you know, Angela's crazy sometimes. And I think to myself, like, why would I want to restart the process with someone else when I've already figured out this madness? Like, this madness now makes sense to me. And I guess a good question to ask you, because you've mentioned there were like tough times and stuff. So this would speak to people that are early on in their relationships or at the dating stage or engaged stage or even marriage stage. How do you come back from like a proper bad situation where you feel like, look, this is not working anymore? Because some people get to that place where it feels like, look, it's not really going to work out anymore. They either break up and they become serial daters, dating a new guy or new lady every year, every 6 months. Or you get to the place where you're engaged, and that hurts a lot for a lot of people. I had a ring, we did a whole thing, and then it didn't go to marriage. Or we're already married, you know, families came together, we did the whole thing, and now something happened, whatever the thing is, and it feels irreparable. Like, how does someone practically kind of come back from that?
I think what you said was very profound. It's just a question of time. It's not a question of partner. It's a question of time. When do you get to that place where you actually transition from falling in love or feeling the sensation of loving as an action, as a decision where you love. So that is what you said. If you're in a relationship and you're hitting that moment, and then you say, well, I have to capture again the feeling of being in love. So you go to another person, and then you will live this for a certain time, and then you come to the right place, and so you're actually hopping from people to people because you never transition into where it's not just the crazy feeling.
So you're chasing that initial, I'm in love feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So chasing that initial love feeling, it's a chemical reaction actually. When you look at, you're studying the dynamics of relationship. This is something that is intentional for the initial bonding and the stuff like that. But once you discover the faults of the person, the adrenaline goes down. Then you have to make that choice of saying, do I still make the choice to love the person on a daily basis? So it's switching from falling in love to loving as an action. And it's very important, I think, to see love not as an emotion primarily, but as an action. For me, the way I define love is looking for the ultimate good of the person that I'm with. So it's not just the feeling, it's really saying, how can I pursue the ultimate good of the person that I'm with? And that's not necessarily what the person is looking for or wants, because the ultimate good for a person can be something that the person's not even aware of. So the way you transition, if you hit a very, very bad spot and say, okay, I realize now we're at the emotional low. First of all, that this is something that can be regained. So if you think, well, it's gone down and it's impossible for not going up again, that's the first thing I think that you need to realize, that you have to have a mentality shift. We had that connection. It is possible to get back to that connection. So it's hope. It's really hope of, are we able to live again that connection.
Yeah.
And then practical steps, how do you get there?
Yeah.
So I think the question of being intentional in speaking the love language of someone, even if you're not feeling it in a certain sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can act your way into feelings.
Okay.
I've really noticed that, of saying, when you start, you make the decision of saying, I actually want to show love in practical ways according to the things that someone else is understanding, especially in times where it's difficult. This intention speaks very loud.
Yeah.
And I found that once you go into that direction, there's actually favor coming back. So it's like watering again. Someone said, well, the grass is always greener at the other, somewhere else. But of course, the grass is greener where you water it.
Yeah.
So the question is, how do you intentionally speak the love language of your partner and just do it?
Okay.
Just do it. And then, of course, we are from the Christian background, so we have found that what really helped us to go out and to come out the most difficult spots, even if you don't agree on anything as a Christian couple, when you can fuss and you really think, what are we doing together? If you don't agree on anything, you can agree on this one thing, is that the help comes from the Lord. So when you pray, even if you're angry one at another, and you still say, let us pray together because we both agree that the help comes from the Lord, I think that is an absolute game changer, because it's really making a spiritual statement of, we believe that God is able to resuscitate our marriage and go into the right direction.
No, it's profound, because I think Angie and I have said it many times. I think the advantage of being Christian and having the Holy Spirit, I think sometimes people think it's like a weird mystical thing, but I guess if you're really, really not of the Christian persuasion, you could even simplify the Holy Spirit as in like your external conscience.
Yes. That's a good way of putting it.
Like when everything is like messed up, and I know sometimes like you just want to beef. You can't explain why, but you just want to be angry. You don't want to let go. You don't want to forgive. And even though you know you're wrong, you want to find something the other person's more wrong in. It's only like this Holy Spirit, when your own conscience is like kind of dead, it's the Holy Spirit that be like, fam, you're not right. Like, and then that's the moment where you feel like, okay, I need to apologize. And you can't always explain why I felt like apologizing or why I felt like ending that beef. So that's always something we encourage you guys to do. Tap into that external conscience, and encourage your partner to also be there, because if someone doesn't have that, it's really left up to their own feelings and emotions on how they navigate. And I think I'm going to end off this Bros Corner with a question I'm going to ask all the bros. It's an inside scoop, like it's a trade secret.
Yes.
What, in your opinion, right, do you think the ladies don't know about guys that they should probably know? It's a crazy question, but just think about it. Like a dude secret, like that you can think of that the ladies might benefit from knowing.
Yeah, I don't think it's a secret, but it's definitely under-practiced.
Yeah.
I think that the fundamental need of a man is to be honored and respected.
Okay.
And so I think that doesn't come necessarily now, but depending on what side of the world you're living on. And I think it's really a key. So if you want your husband or your man to become the best he can be and to treat you the best way possible, is really to show respect and honor in the way that he receives it. I think that is really a fundamental need of the
That's a
of the
big
man.
cheat code. I promise you, we go to like family events, you go to a wedding, other men are standing in the queue, wife is like, hold up, bro. She pulls up with that plate.
Exactly.
That's like a next level. Like other people are standing in queues and waiting to be served. Wife is like, nah, she pull up with 2 plates.
And in the same way,
big.
the greatest killer is public disrespect.
Yeah.
So
that's
public
for most men,
disrespect, even just a look or a word or something, that is really something that I think is a killer for men.
Big tip at the end there for the ladies. Look into it. If you're dating, you're engaged, you're married, listen to the whole video. But if you don't want to watch the whole video, watch the last piece, right? So that's Aleksis' special tip and trick for you. So big shout out to everyone who's subscribed. Thank you for everyone who's been sharing the content, commenting. Please do comment if Aleksis looks 44. So You see, marriage keeps people looking young because no one believes my age either. So it might be a good idea to get married and have a good marriage. It keeps you young for long. So, any parting words?
Do get married. Do get married and do the work, and you will reap the benefit of kind of relationship that you're only dreaming about.
Yeah, for real. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
1,000 borders just so I can be with you. My loving you's a mission, but I'm ready, ready. 1,000 borders just so I can be with you. This love I got is nothing to be played with, baby. Across 1,000 borders, baby.